fat is not the worst thing you can be. Like, being an asshole is way worse than being fat in my book.
Actually, in my opinion, of course, if there's a choice between being healthy, living a long life while being an asshole, and being fat, nice, and leading a short life, I'm going over here 100 out of 100.
You gotta be so good that they can't ignore you, especially the ones that ain't done shit for you. Yeah, you know exactly what I mean. They stab you in the back and then they ask why you're bleeding. I don't trust words, I trust actions. I don't care what you heard, I'm not slacking.
My name is Alan Roberts. This is Everyday Day Fitness. Like, subscribe, click the notification bell right over here, and share my videos. Subscribe to my second channel, Alan Roberts, in my opinion. Of course, point development below at the end and all those places. Share those videos too. Thank you very much. So, I came across this video by Edyn Jax. Edyn Jax is a yoga teacher. She's a vegan too. We're not going to judge. And because I'm pescatarian, so I don't judge. And she's also a body positivity activist. Now, I have been very clear that the body positivity movement has been hijacked by the fat acceptance movement. I did find a lot of this lady's points very, very good. She did have some that I completely disagree with. And I believe that, I believe a huge problem with our society right now is that we are placing being polite and nice over facts and being healthy. And that's a big issue. She does talk in this video, which we are going to talk about, we're going to discuss, several issues that I totally agree with, that I think she shed some very, very good light on some of the body positivity people. But I'm also going to point out where some things went off the rails here. Because in reality, one of the things she's going to discuss is that the body positivity movement has many different views. Like, many different people view the body positivity movement a different way. And they don't all agree. But the problem is, if they're all representing themselves as the body positivity movement, then very realistically, it's all lumped together, and people are going to pick the most unhealthy version oftentimes, and that's not good. So we are going to break apart this video. We're going to talk about it. I mean, no ill will towards Edyn Jax. I think she actually does have some great points, which we will point out. But the only thing I disagree upon is the one simple thing where she says, it's better to be fat than be an asshole. I'd rather hurt people's feelings and save their life by telling them the truth than watch them die by telling them a lie. And I'll say that over and over and over again. Being obese is unhealthy for you, period. But let's get going with the video.
Hey everyone, it's Edyn. I feel silly even having to talk about this, but I did get a comment recently saying that someone felt that body positivity encourages and promotes obesity, which we hear all of the time, and that if you go back and look at influencers, body positive ones, you can see that they've progressively gained weight over the years.
I don't understand why she thinks this is a silly point. This is actually very true. A lot of people in the body positivity movement profess that you shouldn't count your calories, you shouldn't worry about how you look. It is absolutely okay to weigh whatever you want to weigh. You should eat whatever you want to eat, and whatever weight you end up at is what you're meant to be at, which is completely asinine in our society today, because in our society today, we have a society of literally overindulgence when it comes to food and alcohol and those sorts of things. That causes people to gain tons and tons and tons of weight that is unhealthy for them.
So, here's kind of my feelings, my rundown on this. First of all, you don't get a pint of ice cream with interest. We're not force feeding people here. No one's gonna get fat because they start to love their body.
With this, I actually agree a little bit. If you're body positive, you should love your body however, whatever state you're in. Body positivity was actually made, in my opinion, of course, for people that had burn victims, amputees, people born without limbs, people with skin disorders, people that need to accept themselves for who they are, for how they are, that they can't change. They should love themselves for who they are. Everybody should love themselves enough to be the healthiest version of themselves. If you truly love yourself, you want to stay around as long as possible. Just how it is. If you do not love yourself enough to stay around as long as possible, do you really love yourself?
You should love yourself in every phase, but that doesn't mean that you don't want to change. One, that doesn't always mean that you want to change your body, but it can. It can be changed in just respects to personal growth and development, but it also can be changed in your body. So here are a couple things that body positivity does not mean to me.
At this point in this video, I was super interested to hear what this young lady had to say.
Body positivity doesn't mean that you no longer care about your body. It doesn't. Body positivity means that you care so much about your body that you're gonna do the things that are good for you, mind, body, and spirit.
I completely 100% agree. I absolutely agree with her. And it's very refreshing to hear a plus-size woman state these things. It truly is. This is a very good conversation. This is the type of conversation I am hoping to have with people of the body positivity movement. or fat acceptance community, whatever, because they, like I said, they've completely taken it over. But this is the type of conversation I wish to have. Loving yourself truly means you want to change to the best version of yourself. I personally, I want to get healthier. I really do. I'm a pretty healthy guy, and I want to get healthier. Everybody should strive to do so. Everybody should strive to having a healthy body, being a healthy person, feeling good about yourself is loving yourself. It absolutely is. Giving into being obese, giving into being fat, giving into not being active, giving into all those things is not loving yourself.
And the positive thing is that that can be different for every single person, and we value and respect that person's ability to make those choices for their individual body.
Here's where the problem lies. People that don't have a healthy relationship with food or with alcohol or with whatever, if somebody doesn't have a healthy relationship with something where they can eat it in moderation or drink it in moderation or do it in moderation, that means they can't make that choice. That means that they have a hard time making that choice. That means that something in them, whether it be physiological or emotional or something of that nature, whether an addiction of something like that, they cannot make those decisions. They cannot make those decisions well. That's the issue. And when you say everybody should just love themselves, and when you have people spouting out ridiculous shit like eat intuitively, you listen to your food cues and all sorts of ridiculous rhetoric that is brought out by the fat acceptance community through the body positivity movement, that's the issue. That's why people find the body positivity movement and then become more obese.
2, it doesn't mean that you never exercise ever again or have goals related to fitness. It just doesn't. You can work out, you can have fitness goals and want to achieve things and still be body positive.
Absolutely. I totally agree with this. Again, this video, I found many of the points, stuff I completely agreed with. I think she's a very insightful person. I believe she has the best of intentions. I believe that when it comes to body positivity or the fat acceptance community, she's who people should listen to, not Miss Tess Holliday and people like that who literally fat shame people or who literally shame people for losing their body fat. And showing transformation pictures and all sorts of shit. I really believe that this is the type of person that the fat acceptance community should get behind. You should accept yourself for being fat, but you should also try your best to be as healthy as you can. So my hat's off to this young lady, Edyn.
3, that you can't be worried about health or nutrition if you're body positive. That's absolutely the opposite of what I feel. You should care about nutrition. You should want to feel your healthiest, and you should eat the things that make you feel good and that fuel your body.
I absolutely fucking agree, except for the very last portion, because telling somebody that has a poor relationship with food, eat the things that make you feel good, they're going to eat the thing that makes them feel good. They're going to eat the thing that they're addicted to. They're going to eat the thing, whether if somebody's addicted to pizza and you tell them eat the thing that makes you feel good, guess what? That's going to be fucking pizza. And oftentimes if people have a poor relationship with these things, they don't just eat in moderation. Almost all the time. They don't eat in moderation. They eat a lot of it. So that's the problem right there. The issue is not accepting reality that for many people in our society nowadays, many people in this community, in the fat acceptance body positivity community, many people do not have a healthy relationship with food. And telling them to eat whatever they want to eat, telling them to eat the thing that makes them feel good, is like writing a death sentence for them.
But we all want to have a very healthy relationship with food at the same time. We want to unlearn some of the things that maybe we've been taught, like good and bad foods.
Oh, here we go.
There are things that we shouldn't eat all the time. There are things that we should eat more often, but it should all be based on how you feel. But none of those things should be based in restriction, right? Very
wrong when coming from the viewpoint of a person with an unhealthy relationship with food. There needs to be restriction. If you have an unhealthy relationship with food, there needs to be some sort of restriction on you. You need to either self-impose it or have your loved ones impose it upon you. Because if you don't, nature is going to impose it upon you for you. They are going to. If you have an unhealthy relationship with sugar, you're going to be obese. You're going to become a type 2 diabetic. And nature, by making you a type 2 diabetic, will put that fucking restriction on you. It's just how it is. It is fact.
So a lot of people think, oh, body positivity, you eat whatever you want, whenever you want. And for some people, that is what body positivity is, and they can do that. But it's also pulling yourself away from that restrictive lifestyle.
I'm just going to state this to be very, very clear. Again, if you are obese, you need some restriction. You absolutely do. If you're obese, you need some restriction. Being obese is unhealthy for you. It is not healthy. It is not healthy in multiple ways. You increase the risks of multiple different kinds of chronic avoidable illnesses. You vastly increase the risk of diabetes, of certain types of cancer, of osteoarthritis. It is not healthy just by gravity because you are carrying more weight on your frame than your frame was designed to carry. We have gone over this ad nauseum. It is just fact. It is absolutely fact. And that's where I will gladly be the asshole that brings fact to this argument.
Yes, you can be focused on health and nutrition, but not on restriction. Treating yourself when you want, having the things you want, enjoying your life, getting rid of things like food fears that we've learned from the big D, diet culture. So
let me tell you something. If you're addicted to pizza, you should fear the fuck out of it. You really should. If you're addicted to sugar, you should fear that shit like it's death, because guess what? It is. If you're a food addict, you should fear food. That is a very strong thing. If you're a food addict to the point where you weigh, 300, 400, 500, 600 pounds, you should fear the fuck out of that shit. You should fear that shit like it's death knocking on your door. Because it is.
So unlearning those behaviors that we've learned in diet culture and kind of distinguishing between what's diet culture and what's a healthy lifestyle, and focusing on the most important thing, overall wellness. So I do this because I think chakras, but mind, body, and spirit.
Overall wellness comes from having a healthy nutrition lifestyle, having activity in your life, and trying your very best to maintain a healthy body weight, a healthy structure. It just absolutely does. You can't, if you don't have activity and being at a healthy weight and eating the proper foods is how your body is designed to run. We are designed to move. We are designed to be at a healthy weight where we can run around, where we can do things. We are designed to do these things. We have evolved to do these things. Therefore, for us to remain healthy, we need activity. It helps with the hormone levels of your body. It helps with your cardiovascular health. It helps with all these things. You need to fuel your body the way it needs to be fueled. You need to fuel your body enough to maintain a healthy body fat percentage, which is scientifically proven, and you must eat not in excess, not under, but try to eat to the point where it matches your activity level to stay at a healthy body fat range.
So as I say all the time, if you feel like body positivity is making you gain weight, or you're gaining weight because you're starting to implement some of the tools, for lack of a better word, when it comes to body positivity, I'd say that maybe you're following the wrong people.
Finally, somebody in that community said it. I completely 100% agree.
Body positivity is like any other movement. It's very vast, and there are tons of different kinds of influencers you can follow. And that goes for the opposite side as well. If you are body positive and you don't love fitness, and maybe you're not in a space right now where it's healthy for you to focus on nutritious foods, or where you're not in a space where your relationship with food is healthy enough for you to try to find out what foods make your body feel good, and you just need to focus on eating right now, and eating without thinking about calories, breakdown, healthy versus non-healthy, whatever. Maybe you need to unfollow people that talk a lot about, like people like me.
If you are not in a space to think about eating healthy because of something going on in your head, there's a huge chance that eating healthy and exercise will help that get better. But if that's the case, you need to get counseling right away. Don't listen to anybody from the body positivity movement. Get counseling and figure that out. Go to a trained professional, because at no point in time should anybody that is overweight stop thinking about calories. You shouldn't. If you are obese, if you are above 40% BMI, especially, you should think about calories. You should think about calories before everything you fucking eat to get healthy, period. I know that's not popular, and that's going to get a bunch of hate in the comments from people that, you know, follow Tess Holiday or whatever, but that is the truth. If you are above 40 BMI, if you're above 40 BMI, and even if it's all muscle, check yourself. You really do. You need to check yourself. You need to decide, look in the mirror and decide, am I going to eat the way I've been eating and lead a shorter life and live a shorter life? Am I going to, if you have kids, you should say this to yourself, am I going to be okay with not seeing my grandkids? Am I going to be okay with setting that image for my grandchildren, if they do get to see me, of the obese person that dies young?
That talk a lot about food and talk a lot about fitness, and maybe you need to unfollow influencers like me. So I think it's really beautiful within the body positive community that you can find someone that's body positive that represents exactly what you're looking for. And
the issue with that is that people are going to look for what makes them feel the best at that time. They're not going to look for what they need to hear. They're going to look for what they want to hear. That's the issue. Most times when somebody is unhealthy, most of the time, what they want to hear and what they need to hear are two very different fucking things. If an obese person listens to somebody that says, go ahead and eat that cheesecake, don't listen to diet culture, blah, 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 I'm going to be fucking unhealthy, or whatever. They don't say I'm going to be unhealthy because they think they're healthy at every size, which is just so fucking stupid. But if they listen to that, if they listen to the person that tells them what they want to hear, they're not going to listen to the person that tells them what they need to hear.
It may take you some time to get to know each influencer to see what's right for you, but it's worth it to follow the people that align with what you want for your life. So
what if what you want to do is just eat cake?
I think making blanket statements like body positivity promotes obesity or makes you fat or tells you you can eat whatever you want to eat all the time, YOLO, is presumptuous, because
it's actually also presumptuous of you to say it doesn't.
There's too many people in the body positivity movement for a blanket statement like that.
And that is the actual issue, because while you, Edyn, can say that's not what it means to you, you even said your opinion earlier. There are many people that that's what it means to them. Many of the influencers in the body positivity movement, again, hijacked, you know, by the facts of this community, that do profess these things, that do say don't listen to any diet, that do say eat whatever you want to eat, that do say love yourself no matter what size you are, that do say that transformation photos of going from obese to healthy are toxic, like Tess Holiday did about obese to beast. There are people in that community that say these things. That's the problem. There are people that say these things. It is not a presumptuous thing for those people who happen to be, by the way, the more popular figures in your movement, because they're telling people what they want to hear instead of what they need to hear. There are many of them. Those are the most popular figures, and that is the problem. And that's just my 2 cents in the matter. My name's Alan Roberts. Hit me up on Instagram at Everydamnday Fitness. Hit me up on Twitter at Everyday Fit. I'm also on Facebook at Everydamday Fitness, and on the internet at everydamdayfitness.net. God damn.